Hi everyone, it's Lindsey Baker with the Rescue Stories, and today my very special guest is none other than Kim Delgado. Kim, I'm so happy to have you here. Now, Kim is an activist, and she also is a fellow contributor for Jane Unchained News Network. So I asked her to come on today, and she was kind of a little bit, I don't want to talk about myself, and I said, Kim, you must come on and talk about your activism. So here she is. Kim, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Lindsay. Hello, everyone watching. And Lindsay, thank you very much. I'm so honored to be on your show. Thank you for asking, and I'm glad I'm available. And I don't know, what the heck are we going to talk about?
Well, let's jump right into this great little clip of your activism.
Okay.
Funny should ask.
Scary is scary. But here's someone who's not scary, the wonderful and compassionate Kim Delgado King. Thank you.
Thanks, Vanessa Marceau.
Who out there is a mother? I'm the mother of 2 daughters. I got to breastfeed my daughters for more than 2 years. I cannot imagine them being pulled away from me at birth. And the way that we impregnate cows, there's nothing natural about it. Can you imagine, why did they name it? We put them up on the rape rack. That's what the industry calls it, the rape rack. Why do we put them up on the rape rack? Because we stick our big arm right down them and we inseminate them with our arm inside their body. It's ridiculous. Then they're pregnant, they get pregnant, and they have their baby, and we pull them away within a day or 2. They never get to see their baby again. The baby is crying. The mom is crying. They never see each other again, and they do it over and over again. The veal industry is a byproduct of the dairy industry. The male cows are pulled away and put in little crates, and next thing you know, they're killed for veal. I cannot imagine any of this happening to us. And why do we drink cow's milk anyway? Why don't we drink an elephant's milk? I'll bet there's a lot of milk up in an elephant. Why don't we drink their milk? Why don't we drink a lion's milk? Why don't we drink our dog's milk or our cat's milk? Because it's unnatural, it's stupid. We do not need to drink the milk of a cow. Please go to YouTube and type in "dairy is scary." Type in "dairy is scary" on YouTube. And please watch it. 5 minutes of your time, you'll understand. Thank you.
All right, hey, will you hold this for a
Wow, that was some protest. I remember being there. Jane was there. You were there.
That's
was fantastic.
right.
What a
Yeah,
speech. I loved it.
That was one. Yeah.
I loved
You know what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was, I remember I was very nervous going up there, but I was like, I'm just going to do it. You know, I mean, I'm not a natural born activist that likes to get up there, as we know some people do, or they come very natural. So I had to really make myself do it. And, you know, I did it for the animals, for the cows. And I'm really glad that I did that.
Well, I like the way you related it to being a mom and how you had nursed your children till they were 2 years old and you couldn't imagine. I think that moms really need to get this message. There's so many moms out there, they don't even realize how bad this is for their children's health, let alone what the mother-child relationship of the cow and the calf are. So
that's for sure. I mean, I have so many friends that are fellow mothers like me, and and they're kind people, but they just have no idea. I mean, if they could just imagine what happens to our dairy cows. Actually, I went vegan due to the dairy industry. If you want, I'll tell you for a moment how I went vegan. I had been vegetarian for 20-something years, thinking I was doing my part. You know, I loved animals, and many years ago, I went and saw John Robbins speaking at UCLA, and I bought his book, Diet for a New America. So I went vegetarian right around there because I thought, oh, I don't want to eat animals. And I thought I was doing my part. You know, you think, you know, with cow's milk and cheese, you think, oh, you know, a cow just has a little, you know, shares their milk with us. No big deal. They're pregnant, they have their babies, and they share their milk. But no, it's far from that. And once I learned about that, It was at the 2014 Farm Animal Rights Conference that I was at, and I was kind of on the verge of vegan, but not 100% yet. And so I went around, I bought a few T-shirts at the booth. One T-shirt was, "Ask me why I'm vegetarian." That was a bright pink shirt that I never wore. One shirt I have here, and I almost gave it away, but Sarah Siegel said, "No, you can't give that away." And that is this one. Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah, so-
yeah. I'm vegan. Oh, that's fantastic.
Right. So I bought that, and
For them to see it all the way. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. Can you stand up?
confusing.
Oh,
see.
no, don't fall.
Yeah, so I bought these various T-shirts.
Great.
And I was walking around at the Farm Animal Rights Conference, and I bought this one, and so I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm vegan as of today. So that was July 14th, I believe, 2014, just over 6 years ago. And I went vegan, and I never looked back. I mean, I'm so happy I did it. And a lot of people say, oh, the worst thing I wish is that I hadn't done it sooner. Hey, I'm just so glad I did it, and I've been healthier than ever. I mean, I hang out here in Culver City with a lot of my non-vegan friends, and they're always getting colds and everything. I am just healthy. I mean, it's just amazing. Not to say that vegans don't get sick. Certainly we get sick, but so far, 6 years, I haven't. So I'm happy to say that.
I think most vegans have a similar story because we eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and they say if you eat from all the colors,
all the rainbow.
Yeah, fruits and vegetables, you can cover everything. And I wasn't aware that you don't have to take vitamins. You really don't need to. Vitamin D, I take vitamin D and I take B12. But other than that, you don't really need, you can get all of them and you can get B vitamins from nutritional yeast.
That's
so
right.
There's no reason not to go vegan. We have some other.
Sprinkle my nooch on a lot of stuff. Yes.
What do you sprinkle on?
My nooch. That's the nickname for nutritional yeast. Nooch.
Oh, I
started
didn't
with
know
the N like nutrition. Nooch. You haven't heard that?
No, but I do have a whole big thing of nutritional yeast. Sometimes I put it on the popcorn. I've even eaten it by the spoon, but I'm a weirdo. I like weird things. I like to eat weird things.
I thought you were weird.
I know. Well, you were right. I take like a teaspoonful, and I eat it just like that, and it tastes like cheese. Sometimes I'll drink water.
I'll have to try that.
It isn't bad. I mean, but you have to have weird taste buds to like it. I
That's
get
weird vegans. No, I'm sure it's delicious. I mean, I love nutritional yeast.
I'm eating that in the popcorn. It's amazing.
Yes.
And it's great to put on, like if you scramble tofu, crumble tofu to make scrambled eggs and add nutritional yeast. It not only gives you the yellow color, it gives you the cheesy gives you a little bit of salty, cheesy kind of scrambled egg taste.
Definitely. Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Anyway, let's
or tossed egg or any of our various egg substitutes.
Oh yeah. Let's name a couple of those. Go ahead, and then I'm going to show a couple pictures.
Tofu, of course, but then some people don't like to eat soy for whatever reason. I particularly love soy, and I eat soy a lot. But there's this new one called Just Egg, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard. It's by the Just Eat company. And it's phenomenal. Everyone is loving the Just Egg. If you can find it, it's in a bottle, and it's a liquid, and it's equal to maybe eight eggs. And oh my God, it's so versatile. And there's no soy. Number one ingredient is water. Number two is mung bean. So it is a bean product, but definitely try that if you can find that.
Yeah, it's for people that don't have nut allergy, soy allergy, which I don't know how many people have that, but I guess a lot do. That whole thing about soy, I believe, is if it's GMO, non-GMO, organic soy, I believe Lisa Carlin had a guest on, and they were talking about it. I don't remember the woman's name. And she said it was great for preventing breast cancer and other kinds of diseases. I believe that's what she said. So don't quote me, but I know they were saying that that's such a big fallacy. And indeed, it does help you. It's very, very good for you, soy. And they're phytoestrogens. I do know that for sure. Plant estrogen is different. People say you're getting too much estrogen, but that isn't so. So the fallacy of soy is to,
I think that's where the main thing that it got, I think it's mostly amongst meat eaters. That's like one reason they couldn't go vegetarian or vegan, because they don't want to eat soy, because I don't know, there was some report out and it makes them think it's going to give them feminine traits or something, but it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's unfounded.
I hope that people, I'm really hoping that the people that still want to eat meat will adapt to the stem cell without, I know that they don't harm the animal, and I think it's not even harvested. I don't remember how it's harvested. I know very little about it, but it's going to be coming on board soon, I believe, clean meat. And I hope that can satisfy. And that would be good for animals too, right? The animals that have cats, carnivore. So people, some people say you can give cats a plant-based diet, but then others say no. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but let's look at some of your photos here. We've got this one. So you can talk a little bit about the event you were at, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, this was a fun party, so much fun at Lori Allen's house. And it was a New Day, New Chef after party, or, it was like a celebration of New Day, New Chef. And Daya had donated a bunch of their yummy foods, as displayed here. Some were the ice cream bars, and they were so good. So I just captured some pictures of people eating them. It was so fun. And yeah, you were there too that night, right?
I was going to say I was there. Where was the ice cream? I didn't get the ice cream, and I didn't get in a picture.
Oh, bummer. Yeah, and that was a lot of fun. And that was, about New Day, New Chef, and highly recommend it.
We want to give a little plug here. Thank you for reminding me, Kim. New Day, New Chef, support and feed Amazon Prime. Watch it. It's an amazing show going on with Jane Velez Mitchell, and watch the show. It's phenomenal.
Well, the new one, Support and Feed, has Billie Eilish and her mom, and then a couple of local chefs. For instance, Angela Means Kaya, who you saw in that picture with me earlier, she owns the Jackfruit Cafe, and it's amazing food. And she's one of the chefs on the New Day, New Chef. No, the other picture from a while ago at Vegan Outreach with Gwenna Hunter. Angela was in that one. And because she provided the food for us for Vegan Outreach for that particular day. Yeah, there she is to my left. Not that you can recognize her, but she's an actress. And Jane likes to always mention she's famous in one of her movies for being the one who started this saying called "Bye Felicia." Have you ever heard that? Bye Felicia.
Yes,
So
really?
yeah, Angela here is the one who said that in the movie. Bye Felicia.
Wow, that became a famous line, didn't it?
Yes. I'll have to watch the movie sometime to see what it's all about.
Let's see which other ones we have. Oh God, this is horrible.
Oh yeah, that was a protest at UCLA. Again, I think you were there too. Yeah, I know you were there. We show up for that protest maybe once a year, and it's against.
I covered it for Jane Unchained.
Oh, okay, that time. Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's against animal experimentation that happens sadly at UCLA. And I was holding the sign. I chose that one of a cat because I'm an absolute cat lover. I always have cats. My whole life, I'll always have cats. And and that's just so sad, to think of the love and joy that cats give us. And some.
How many cats do you have?
Well, right now I only have one plus an outdoor one, a feral one that I feed. Because as you know, last week I lost my Skippy, and I had lost another one in January. So I had 3. Now I'm down to 1 plus the outdoor one. But
gosh,
I will always have cats in my life.
Sorry.
How many cats do you have?
I have 3, but I was going to tell you that there's a cat available, a beautiful yellow kitten, male. I saw on Facebook. Now I think Sandra Bell has saved it a week ago. Its little eyes were crusty, and she took it in. And you can, if you go to Sandra Bell's page on Facebook, you'll see the kitten as it's becoming acclimated to being taken care of, and it is just, I want to snatch it myself. But I have 3, but we just took my mom in and her dog. So now we have 3 dogs again and 3 cats.
Oh, wow.
You know,
how big is her dog?
Oh, just a little schnauzer.
Oh, okay.
She's really quiet and sweet.
Sweet.
She's a sweet little dog. Yeah, she's my mom's lap dog. So she's really saved my mom from, animals help so much. And that's another thing to bring up. But you also, this is just my opinion, you also, with elderly people, make arrangements. You have aunts or uncles, make sure that you help them make arrangements for those animals. Because when they, like now, if my mom is early stages Alzheimer's, so as it progresses, if we weren't around to take the dog, my brother wouldn't take it. Now, when you go into memory care, and a lot of people do, they're not vegans, so they just, a lot of people, I think that's helps to prevent it. We don't know if it doesn't prevent all of it, but it's said to help prevent it. And I'm hoping it'll help my mom. But if she had to go into a facility and we were in here, the dog would go to where? A shelter, probably. They'll try to give it, or some people put it, their relatives will put it up on Craigslist. They don't know what they're doing.
I know, it's sad. It's sad what animals go through. To be our companions. And I was sad about it a few weeks ago. I was thinking all those animals all over the world, just, their guardian, I don't even like to call them owners. We're supposed to be guardians for them. And they disappear for whatever reason, whether maybe they died or they dropped the animal off the shelter for whatever. And those poor animals are just sitting there looking, waiting for their guardian to come back and pick them up, or why isn't my guardian here? And they have no idea, and it's so sad. So there's the lucky ones that get rehomed and end up in a lovely home, and then there's tons of very unlucky ones.
Yeah.
So please adopt, don't shop. Go to the shelters, go to the restaurants, adopt. Do not go out and buy a dog. Don't buy a cat or buy a dog. There's always rescues out there that are loving, wonderful, and usually healthier pets. I mean, the breeded, the ones that are overbred and are purebred, they're often ill, and they have a lot of problems because they're inbred and they're just not healthy like a good old mutt.
Yeah. The other thing that's really important is spay neuter. Spay neuter, spay neuter, spay neuter. I had on Start a while ago, one of my first shows. And they're all about doing that, taking them in, spay neutering, and then getting them out to shelters, places where there are no dogs, and they can get homes. And it's a great program. So shout out to them. But the spay neuter is key. And they were saying, I can't remember the numbers, how many thousands of dogs were saved that would have been had to be put down, but were never born because of these spay neuter programs that are happening. So
thank goodness.
And as our the comment says here, spread awareness and educate. That's a good comment.
Right. That's right. Yeah. You're right. Vashti, Tina. Hi, Tina. Hi, Vashti. Yes. Spread awareness constantly. We should always tell people don't buy and spay and neuter.
Sarah Delgado says, yay, Kim. All right. So speaking of yay, Kim, let's look at some more little scenes here. Did we look at the Vaticans?
Oh,
Sheena Gallivan.
Yeah, Sheena, as you know, she's a local Los Angeles big animal activist, and she's also a musician. She's a beautiful violinist. And this was a night out. It was her premiere show, and I think they were premiering their album. And it was a wonderful, fun show, and I had a blast. Were you there?
I was there the first show, I believe, yes, or the second show. I think wasn't there for the first show. I was there for the second show.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a fun night. Even
Yeah.
Jane was there. Jane Velez Mitchell was there that
And I
night.
know I wasn't there because the night I was there, that's right, you were not there. I'm trying to get this picture to come down. There we are. Yeah, you were not there the night I was there, so that makes sense. What am I thinking? No, I wasn't there. Remember the one we were at together? That was a lot of fun. Well, a lot of them were, but how about Chef Babette? Remember that fun?
Her big birthday party?
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was dancing and fun.
Yeah, that was really fun.
A lot of us were there. Gwenna, Paige, a lot of us local Los Angeles vegan animal rights activists.
Yeah, that was fun. And her food was fabulous. If you've never had her food, fabulous.
Yes, she's the owner of Stuff I Eat in Inglewood, California.
That's right. That's right. Here you are at Toastmasters. So tell us what you were doing at Toastmasters.
Yes, well, I was a longtime visitor, and then I've been a member now of Vegan Toastmasters for several years. And for those that don't know, Toastmasters is an international nonprofit organization that helps people get familiar and comfortable with public speaking. So it started back in the 50s, and it's spread all over the world, and there's all kinds of Toastmaster meetings all over, particularly in LA. There's tons of them that you can go to. So once I heard about vegan Toastmasters, I said, I've got to try that. And that was before I was even vegan. I was just vegetarian at the time. But so it was this one was started about 16 years ago. Co-founder David Rutan, who's a local activist, many people know. And it's been going on, and we meet twice a month, every first and third Sunday. Even during COVID, of course, we do the Zoom meetings now. Anyone is welcome to join. You don't have to talk. You can raise your hand and answer a question just to kind of practice talking if you want, or you can sit there quietly and watch. And it's free to be a member, free to be a guest. So please do look on Facebook or meet up and find Vegan Toastmasters and join us first and third Sunday at 3 p.m.
You know what's great about doing it on Zoom? I think, first of all, people can join you from all over the world virtually.
That's right.
And it breaks down territories. And secondly, if you want to sit back or oops, I just got disconnected. You know, if you're like after speaking, you get scared, you can always get off. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, it's not like you're stuck in the room. You can get off. So come and join, try it out, see what you learn. I think that might be really interesting to really be able to practice answering questions for non-vegans, because you know, when you get hit up with some hard questions. But I think one of the many advantages for me of doing this show is I have to do a lot of research. And each guest I get, I learn a little bit more. I'm going to learn about some wolves now. So I'm getting more and more knowledge. But yeah, for those of us that are early vegans, I'm 5 years vegan, you're 6 years vegan, helping with, because you can hear some people like Earthling Ed, which I think we have a picture of you with him here. Maybe we can talk about that for a moment. But he's so smooth when he talks. So what was this? Were you at a NARD event?
This was at the Veg Fest, actually, from like maybe 2018 or something. And yes, I was so thrilled to meet him. He's so sweet. And we stood there chatting for a while. Shockingly, you know, it was like after his, you know, he had done his talk, and I think it was quieting down, and there weren't a lot of people around. So I just ran over him. Actually, Elam Orion, a founder of NARD, he went with me, and we chatted with, we had a really nice chat with Earthling Ed and took some pictures. He's just such a nice guy. And obviously very well spoken. Oh my God, he knows what he's talking about. We all wish we could talk about animal rights or veganism the way he does, huh?
Yes, and you know what, that's a good idea. If you want to learn too, you can go watch some of his videos, because he gives you some really good comebacks for people.
That's right.
People ask hard questions.
Yeah, it's just like,
questions aren't that hard. Well, I like it and I don't care. That for me is hard. Like, what do we do with that? I like it. I understand what you're saying. I like it. I don't care. It's not animals.
Yeah,
So-
they're like, yeah, but I gotta have my bacon.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
How you can get that person to look at an animal as an individual, the way the metaphor that he'll put together as a story, to me is very interesting, and that's something that I'd like to learn more about.
Definitely. I if you ever find a class or something that we can take, let me know.
Yeah, well, one of the things I thought, just listen to some of the most eloquent I would say Earthling Ed, I would say Jane Goodall. Oh my gosh, she's so great. I'd say Ingrid Newkirk. I mean, all of those people who have been doing it so long. Here's another photo. A friend of ours, both fellow contributor.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Wanna
that was
talk about
that was the an Ellora event. Which one was it? Was that the grand opening of Ellora? Or
I think it might be.
yeah, okay, yeah. That's the grand opening of Ellora, and which is a wellness center founded by our good friend and wonderful activist Vanessa Marceau, who's got the purple hair. You can always spot her with her purple hair on the floor there. And yeah, she started this wellness center on Altadena. And it's a wonderful center. Unfortunately, it started right during the COVID times, which certainly has some huge challenges. So I hope she can keep it up.
Yeah. And she had just gotten it open and gotten it started. And it's just she's been working on that for a while, and she got it going, and it's a fabulous center. And I can't wait for it to reopen so I could go and check it out, because I didn't get to go to that.
Yes, one thing I will say, at least watch her. She does Lunch Break Live for Jane Unchained News Network every Sunday. So at least watch her on 12:30 Sunday, Lunch Break Live, Vanessa Marceau, usually at her Ellora Wellness. And so check that out.
Yeah, I mean, get to see what it's like. The kitchen was stunning. I thought it was fabulous. The
Beautiful,
kitchen,
yeah.
yeah. So,
Kind of like your kitchen.
Huh?
Your kitchen's pretty stunning too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're going to be moving. We're selling the house. Steps. We can't, because I have two people that can't walk steps. But it's not about me, it's about you, and it's about your activism. So here we go. We have you at the Farm Sanctuary. So I know you were just there for this one event, but it is a great organization, and I think we love these farms, these sanctuaries, and we want people to support them. Oh, I'm sorry. Hit the button again.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. At least 2 times I was volunteering with Vegan Outreach with Gwen. I was helping Gwen Hunter with Vegan Outreach. And then I think I also went to one of their big Thanksgiving events. But at one of them, obviously, I got to meet the handsome Gene Bauer and took a picture with him. And I've met him a few other times, like he's been one of our speakers at NARD before. And so, but yeah, that's one of my favorite pictures. That was,
you were telling me earlier you were telling me earlier some of his accomplishments, some of the legislation he helped with.
Yeah, I was saying he's a co-founder of the Farm Animal Sanctuary, and they pretty much, I think the Farm Sanctuary is the premier sanctuary that started saving farm animals, and he started, I don't know, 20 years ago or so. I don't even know how long ago. And now he's from LA, and he started this one just outside of LA, but now he lives back east, and I believe he goes into Washington a lot. I think he lobbies for animals, and now there's a farm sanctuary back east as well. But yeah, they've done wonderful things, and it's a great place to visit if you get an opportunity.
All of these sanctuaries are amazing. I was just invited to parrotcare.org is the name of their website, and they also do wolf and parrot rescue. She actually Dr. Lynn, oh my gosh, I shouldn't even mention it because I don't remember her full name, but we will get to that meme very shortly. She's going to be on and talk about parrots and wolves. Now, she saved some wolves from the circus, the side Roadside Circus.
Oh,
the
yes.
one that is run by Tiger Joe of Tiger King.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, she rescued it from him. So we're going to see where, I'm hoping she'll have pictures of when they came in and what they liked. And you see because we've been seeing that with the elephants, some of the Asian elephant stories I've been doing.
Oh yeah, those are some horrific stories.
Some of the most cruel. We'll be bringing We'll be bringing more of that to folks in upcoming shows. We have a show coming up with Wildlife SOS.
Oh,
so we have
okay.
some really interesting shows coming up. And we have Lisa from Wildlife SOS coming. Actually, she's going to be talking, though, not about the elephants, but the street dogs rescue that she's done.
Oh,
street dogs, which is another quite,
wow.
Yeah, every time you learn of a new thing, I'm sure you've had this experience. You go, oh, that's got to be the worst. I've seen and heard the worst. And then it's like you always get a surprise.
Yeah, hear more. That's for sure. Yeah. But like Soy Dog Foundation. I mean, yeah, dogs in India and Thailand and all these different various, I guess, third world type countries. Yeah, they go through misery. It's horrific. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
That sounds good. I look forward to that show. Not only the Asian elephants, but the Indian elephants too.
Yes.
And why don't we use this reminder? Tell everyone if they go to Asia or India, do not take a ride on an elephant. It might make for a nice picture. And then those elephants you see painting, no, it's all they're whipped. They have this hook that's catching their skin, and they're not happy. They're not living a good life. Just for you to have that little ride or to see them painting.
Yes,
so please don't participate in that.
Yeah, that is just, and the babies, and when they go through the Pajan, sorry, it's the most horrible thing. Most horrible, they break their spirit. So we're hopefully, gentlegiants.org has a program, all the tourism is collapsing in India, and they're actually bringing the elephants home. They want to keep them home, and it's going to benefit the workers. So they're raising funds from all over the world. It's a very legitimate organization. I'm going to be doing another show with them. But what's happening is they're helping the mahouts, which are the trainers. Now people say, why would they help them? But there's some that are kind, and some of them just weren't educated, and they're young boys that are thrown 15, 16, taken from their families. The whole industry is terribly cruel. Anyway, they are helping them stay home. It helps the mahouts. It helps the families that need the income. It helps, of course, the poor suffering animals, which are, the most important in this situation. Humans and animals are equally important. I don't mean to say that, but everybody wins, and it is good for the environment because they reforest. Over a short period of time, elephants are so vital to the forest and the jungles and so forth. The jungle, actually. I'll say.
Oh, wow.
But the jungle, and it's really important to get them back in there. So it's such a big win, and this is just a beginning. This whole campaign has just started. We're trying to really get the word out. So that's another thing. Yeah.
That's great. So I look forward to that.
Activists, I'm saying like it's my cause. I'm just helping by doing stories on them, but I know they need help from amazing activists. And another thing I'd like to just mention, we want to look at some more of your stuff, but folks, there's a lot of digital activism that you can take part in. Many organizations, the Humane League and other organizations have going on. You just sign up. I did one today. It was so easy. You go on their site, you click to take action, you click the other button, it's already set up, it goes into your email, writes the email for you, you read it to make sure you're okay with what it says, you click, and it goes. All you have to do is click, go. So this digital activism is huge, and it's a way that we vegans and that, want to be activists can get out there and do something.
Great. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so all these things I'm learning from interviewing people, it's amazing. So let's watch a couple more photos here. So this is the subject a little bit more. I want to talk about this one.
one of my favorite doctors in the world, Dr. Milton Mills. And I first came familiar with him. He was in the show, let's see, not Cowspiracy, one of those fantastic movies that I can't think of at the moment. But I love what he, the person narrating him or interviewing him asked him, so what about protein? Everyone thinks that we should have a lot of protein, and he rolls his eyes and he just goes, oh God. He like rolls his eyes and he starts talking about the fake thing that we all think we need protein. Anyway, I love that. And I follow him on Facebook, and I follow any interview. I know Jane interviewed him not too long ago, and that was very interesting.
Great insights.
Yes. In fact, one thing I learned from him, which I heard people talking about mushrooms, but I didn't picture that mushrooms had any particular nutrition. But he raved about mushrooms when he was talking to Jane recently. And he said, any kind of mushrooms, just eat mushrooms every day, mushrooms. So now that I try to do that. Like
I love mushrooms.
Yeah, I mean, even if, you're a lover of them, even if you don't, just eat mushrooms as much as you can. Apparently there's all kinds of nutrition in them that people didn't realize.
That's phenomenal. Yeah. So there's so many things you can do and learn from going on the show, watching our broadcast from all the different contributors. We have so many amazing guests coming on all the time. Speaking of amazing guests, this was actually at a NARD demonstration that you were at. Which year was this, when both Moby and Joaquin Phoenix were there?
Well, this was, this is 2019. So this was 2018, and I was in charge of speakers and entertainment. So yeah, I arranged for them to come and so to speak. And I had to greet them and, tell them what we were going to do. And, I had, Joaquin was already there, and I put him in I said, here, you can stand here if you want. And then Moby texted me, he had just parked his car. And so I went to get him and brought him over to Joaquin. And I figured, well, they're both big celebrities. They probably want to hang out. So yeah, they hugged each other. I took a picture of them two hugging, and then I said, hey, can I, so we took a picture, and, it was great. That was a phenomenal NAR, National Animal Rights Day, that year.
I know that Joaquin doesn't like to take pictures too often, does he? I mean, he's more, well, they both are pretty shy. I remember when Moby was here at my house for the benefit we did last fall. We did a benefit here for, oh my gosh, what was that? Soy dog, the soy dog food in the shelters, right? Bringing vegan dog food to shelters.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yes, there was a couple of different events we did, but he did attend, and he said the main thing he was interested in were the Scottish pines. He goes, who planted all the Scottish, our whole neighborhood. Because he likes them because they are the biggest eater of pollution and carbon. I mean, they're the best for the environment. And do you know that when we had those fires a while ago and it was all everywhere you drove, it was horrible. Our skies were still blue over here where all the Scottish pines were. And then I drive out of the neighborhood and interesting. Were gray, and it was, so maybe there was something to what he was saying there,
Yeah, I never heard that. That's good to know. Next time I move, I'll try to find some pines. Live near some
specifically Scottish pines, which they have a certain look. I don't have a picture, but Google it, Scottish pine.
Yes, I will. That sounds
interesting. And the funny thing is, if you shop at Trader Joe's, which of course is a great place to get vegan food, there's even a vegan Trader Joe website. They sell little baby Scottish pines at Christmas that we actually plant our Christmas tree every year. We buy a live tree. And so we're contributing to the Scottish pine because we have some area in the back. So we've done 2 or 3 trees. So if we move soon, at least we planted 3 trees here.
Yeah.
We're doing something.
The environment good.
Let's look at a couple more NARD shots. And you want to explain to people what's going on in this picture that have not gone to a NARD
Yes, well,
ceremony.
NARD, also known as National Animal Rights Day, is an annual event that happens every year. It's the first Sunday in June, and it started 10 years ago in New York, founded by Elam Orion, and he started it with just a small group in New York, did it a couple times, then he moved to LA, and he's been doing it here ever since, and it's been getting bigger and bigger every year. So this is just last year. Joaquin and Rooney, his now fiance, they came, and he held a rooster. She held a little tiny like gopher or something. I took Rooney over to pick out her little animal. She just wanted a little one. She held. You'll see some pictures of her if you look around. She's holding this little guy. So we didn't have Moby that last year, but Moby has come a couple of times, and he's been our key speaker. He's a phenomenal speaker, and this was also that same year last year, and you can see starting from the far right, we have Ellen Erickson, and behind Thea Piera, and then there's me, and then there's Lori Allen, and then next to Lori Allen, kind of behind her, is Rooney Mara and Joaquin Phoenix.
And snuck right in between there is Jane. Somebody's holding on the other side. Isn't that Jane Velez Mitchell?
You know, it looks like Jane, but she was not. I'm pretty sure she wasn't there. So I
was there filming. I was filming that day.
Right. Doesn't she look like Jane though? Yeah.
That does look like Jane. So it's kind of bizarre. Well, you see, look how little of her you see, but it sure looks like her. It might, of course, be someone else. All right. Well, those are the three we have from that event. But I know I've attended, I think 4 or 5. Well, this year we did it online. That was quite a different experience.
Yeah.
And it was coinciding with Black Lives Matter, a lot of press on that. So it was focused on that, which was lovely. That was great. And I want to give a shout out to New Human Experience. They played on that. They played on that show, and they're premiering song. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's Elizabeth Jane is helping with them.
Elizabeth.
Jane Elizabeth. Oh my gosh. I'm really doing great today. This is a very relaxed show, as you can see, folks.
I have a friend named Kelly Christine, and I always call her Christine, but that's really her last name. So yeah. So
Jane Elizabeth, she helped to organize it for them, and it's not coming out for a while, but they did perform it, and it is a phenomenal piece. And actually, the wakeupexperience.org, I believe, is their website. And you can go and listen to some of their other music and see their other music videos. This one will be coming out, I understand, very soon. But yeah, that was another wonderful thing. There were many, many highlights to NARD this year, but it was different. And I do miss us being there. One thing I want to ask you about, Kim, is the first year that I came to NARD, and the first thing that people kind of go, oh, or wow, is when they hear about the animals, the deceased animals that are part of the ceremony. Do you want to just talk about that for a moment?
Sure. Well, one thing that NARD has been, I don't know if I want to say famous for, but well known for, is having deceased animals in the ceremony. And it's a very emotional ceremony. You're holding animals, and they lived probably a horrible life, and now they're deceased. So the whole idea is it's a memorial for the millions of animals that have died throughout the year at the hands of humans. And so we acquire animals that have died of natural causes at local small farm sanctuaries, and sometimes they're even a personal pet. One year, actually, a few years ago, when we had NARD under the Hollywood sign, I had a raccoon had gotten hit by a car right here on Overland in Culver City, and so that raccoon was in the ceremony. But yeah, so we usually do that. We did do without it for 2 years in a row. And there are some people that say, oh yeah, I don't want to be around the animals, so I'll participate. But most people are like, where are the animals? We want the animals. People want to hold the animals and cherish them and memorialize them. So,
and we want to make sure that everyone knows that whoever is holding animals have the correct gear on. They have to be wearing why don't you explain that a little bit? Not technically what it is, but just what it's something they have to wear over their clothes, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not 100% sure if it's a requirement, but we did start doing, wearing the white gear to protect themselves and keep, just keep everyone safe. And it's kind of, at first I thought, oh, it was a requirement. Then I found out, that somebody kind of liked that look. And that was one reason we were doing it, because it makes it look a certain way. But the animals are kept in a freezer. They're very clean. They get washed before the ceremony. So, and then after the ceremony, they all get cremated, and we have a little memorial with the ashes. One time we spread the ashes at a local farm sanctuary, buried them there. And so we always, we do good for the animals. We cremate them and have a lovely ceremony for their ashes when we have animals. Okay, so here was a fun event. I have the pleasure of volunteering and helping out for Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine sometimes, aka PCRM. So this is Dr. Neil Bernard, who's I'm pretty sure he's the founder of PCRM, and they have been around for years doing wonderful work. He's an amazing physician, and this was at a beautiful event up in a beautiful home above the Sunset Boulevard. And actually, there I met Maggie Q, the actress, and Dylan McDermott came. Now this was then another year, and I got Gwenna to come help us out as well. So this was a different time, but I think it was the same event at the same location, and that was fun too. And I've volunteered for other things at PCRM, like in LAX. They certify people to be what is it called? Do you know, Lindsay? Like what Lisa Carlin is, and Tracy Miles.
Food for Life instructor.
Thank you. Yes. So they certify people for that, and I volunteered at the event. Nice. We were training them.
I think, as I go on, I'd like to know, as I'm going on, I was not a chef, cook. Let's say I'm a chef, but not even a cook. And as I got into becoming vegan, I cook more and more now with my mom here, and put her on a vegan diet, hopefully help her mental, her and so forth. And we'll see what happens. But so I have to learn recipes, because you get bored quick with my few, and then I'd go order food out. But so it's fun though. It's really fun learning to cook, and I wouldn't mind learning more about nutrition, because it's such a powerful tool of staying healthy.
You should do that course.
Course, I mean, I have an MBA, so I'm not afraid to study or anything like that. But I think you really have to have time really to devote to it. So maybe at some point, when we get this thing set a little bit more with my mom. But anyway, Kim, I think we ran out of photos, except this one more I wanted to ask you about. And guess what? Time's almost up. What were you talking about here? That's what I wanted.
That was at the PCRM event on Sunset Boulevard in a big hotel, and we were asking questions. Darn! Now I forgot. I can't remember what question I asked. I remember thinking, "Oh, that's a good question." I'll have to find some old video, or ask. Actually, Natalie Ford is a wonderful photographer, and she was there taking the photos. So she took that photo of me, and now I wonder what the heck I was asking.
Well, I thought you were making a speech, so I don't know if I'd remember a question I asked either. That's pretty hard. But I mean, what would you say if someone just getting involved? Why is it important, do you think, And do you agree, first of all, that if you're vegan, some people say, and I know there's some younger people that I converse with on other social media apps, they say, oh, I'm vegan, but I'm not really, if you're not vegan, that's cool, but they are vegan and they just, they feel they don't want to talk to people about it at all. They're like,
yeah, that's,
so how do you motivate them? Because we all say that everyone who's vegan, I feel, should also be an activist and speak out. So what do you think? I like asking.
Well, I mean, I think in a perfect world, that would be the case. Well, of course, in a perfect world, no one would be eating dead animals, but it'd be nice. But I can understand not everyone's made to be an activist, and just because they choose to eat vegan style or plant-based style, they aren't necessarily the activist type. And not that there is a particular type. Like I don't think I was the activist type. I just kind of gradually got into it. But yeah, we'd love it if everyone would, just do something like. But they are setting an example. Hopefully they're proudly saying, "Oh, I don't eat that," or they're passing. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, and who's to say that for people, in their teens and 20s and preteens that are coming in, maybe that's the best way to approach them. Hey, that's what I eat. Do you like? Hey, that's cool. Oh, did you know about how it's really trashing the environment? So I guess they do it in their own way. And I'd like to also just say that I think even though, not everybody is an activist, I think everybody is good at something. Maybe you're good at writing emails. And like I said, with the digital activism, you can even do it right from your home. You just need a computer. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to help, really.
Actually, two perfect examples of vegans who aren't activists. My two daughters. I mean, my daughters were raised vegetarian because I had been vegetarian all those years. And yeah, my daughters were definitely going to be vegetarian. And then they surprised me and they became vegan, totally on their own, separate. One lived in New York, one lived here in LA, and they decided to be vegan. And just, at this point, 2 to 3 years ago. So they're vegans, but they're not activists, so to speak. They see their mother activating, and they probably had enough of that. But they're setting great examples for friends, and they're not backing down. They're not eating animal products. So I'm happy for that. Yes.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it works. So that's great. Well, we're just about wrapping up our time. Is there anything else any other message you want to put out there today while you're on the show?
Well, I don't think a message. I would love to tell this funny little quick story that it's not related to veganism or animal rights, I must say, but speaking of my daughters, they used to love it when I would tell this story because it's a true story. It's real short. And I've told it to some of you. Some of you have heard it, like Josh Goldstein, our vegan activist friend. He likes me to tell it. So, my maiden name is Young. And so I grew up as Kimberly Young. And short for it'd be Kim Young. So I used to live in West LA, and I took a load of clothing, put it on the counter, went into this cleaners, put it on the counter. The guy came over and had me fill out the paper, and I just wrote my name, Kim Young. And then he came back, and he looked up at me, and he said, "Oh, your name Kim Young? My name Young Kim." So it's just a funny look. It's an absolutely true story. And I just wanted to end it with that. And thank you so much for having me.
I love it.
It's silly and it didn't really fit in, but I just had to tell you because it's funny. And thank you so much. I've had a great time.
Thank you, Kim. We'll see you next time.
For being here.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.